Good morning, Niagara. You're tuned into Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, the tools are ready, and the talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here, it's not just about fixing cars. It's about keeping you rolling, saving you money, giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics to the commuters, the weird noises to the what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Car Connection, your Monday through Saturday morning, 8 a.m. pit stop for stories, smarts, a few good laughs. And I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins, and we're shifting into drive right here in the Car Connection workshop. Welcome aboard this morning if you're visiting us for the very first time. We love our first-time visitors. A couple of housekeeping tips. You need a 16-pack of crayons and a leaf bag folded up like a laptop. Then you'll be just like the crew here in the shop, able to take notes at random and not have to search for a pen or a pencil that doesn't work. Yeah, pencils don't work when the end's broken off. That's what some of the fellas have recognized. Well, this pencil's broken. What do I do now? Fix it. And let's get into our morning coffee. What are we going to be talking about this morning? I've got a couple of reminders for you quickly. If you're just joining us for the first time, number one, you need to visit the homepage of our website at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. ccbusnet.com is the short order. That is, everything that we talk about lives on our website. It's the biggest drawer we have in our toolbox. So on the homepage, you will find all the logos for all our program partners that make this podcast and our YouTube channel. They're giving us support. That's just kind of holding us there till we get monetized. That will change everything, but we need you to help us. So click on any link, any logo. There's a link built into that. When you open it, you'll get to meet our program partners. And thank you for giving them your business in advance. Top right-hand corner is an important section of our homepage. We have everything there for you to like, share, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, and be part of all the platforms that we're running on, which helps us keep the ignition on and the engine running on all 8 cylinders. So we have our YouTube channel. And again, if you're not familiar with our YouTube channel, we have almost 200 videos up. We put 2 for Tuesday and 1 every Friday. So you get 3 new videos every single week. They're teaching videos. We have a bunch of laughs. And we have a good time while we're shooting the videos, myself and Skippy. And I always cover 5 things. So you're going to be taught the basic fundamentals of vehicle ownership. And it doesn't matter what age you are, what size, whether you're single, widowed, or other, whatever that means. You'll learn what it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks, and you'll learn the fundamentals on, is there something I could have done or something that I did do that I should not do that caused that to happen. That's what I teach you. And once you know the basic fundamentals, you have a lot of working knowledge. So ladies, most part, you're the ones that are taken advantage of at the service department. In other words, ripped off. And as I mentioned yesterday, if I had a nickel for every email I received saying, hey, Motormouth, can you check this and see if they took advantage of me? That doesn't need to happen when you're willing to learn some stuff. That's all you got to do. You got to be willing. You know, as my professor would say, your mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. And that's what you'll get from our YouTube channel, from Facebook, Instagram. Our iHeartRadio icon is there for you. Stevensvilleontheweb.ca ties us in with local businesses. That's where my parents live, and I have a lot of connections in Stevensville through our Skippy, who created that website to draw the businesses and the community together. So all you have to do is click on the businesses tab and you can find our profile there. And we also have Car Connection Motormouth merchandise available in our online store, which is also in the top right-hand corner. Grab some gear, be part of the crew in the fight against addiction and working to help those who need to get to a total freedom addiction campus where a new life waits for them. So thank you in advance for doing that, because you join us in the fight to help those who are ready to deal with addiction. Well, today's topic, a couple of more pieces of housekeeping. If you're with us again for the first time, Fridays, we have Fun Friday. So I just rattle around a conversation with you. And if on Saturdays, it's Q&A for 1 hour. So 8 till 9 in the morning, a 1-hour program I put together for you to answer your questions. So if you have a question, you need to ship that over to me during the week. And then Saturday morning, you can listen. I will answer all the questions that are sent my way. Now, it is a family program, so keep it safe and clean in case the young ears are listening. So that's how I'm going to do it for you, is to be able to take your questions. I've had questions emailed to me for 31 years. So let's get that conversation going here on our iHeartRadio podcast. And you can pull our podcasts off of Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music. We're working on getting on YouTube Music. But whatever platform you get your podcasts from, just type in Car Connection Workshop, and you will find us there for sure. So Saturdays, Q&A. In all the descriptions, whether it's our YouTube videos or our podcasts, I put the email address in there so you can email me directly your question, and I'd be happy to answer that for you. So don't be shy whatsoever. If you don't want names mentioned, just mention that in your email. You'll know whose question it is, or if I can use your first name. I will not use your last name most of the time. If you want to call yourself Georgina or Georgette or whatever, you can change your first name. But at least I can say, oh, so-and-so has sent in this question, and here it is. So here is the answer. So let's get that going. And Fridays, let's have some fun. That's heading into the weekend. My understanding is we have March break coming up already. I can't believe it. That's amazing. You know, we've got daylight savings time. We got March break coming in next week. I'm hoping I can slow down a little bit and have a little bit of a rest, because getting away just once a year, and I didn't have a vacation for like 29 years. This will be this summer. If I get away again, that would be like vacation number 6. Yeah, that's about it. I'm a bit of a grinder, but I promised my professor that passed away about 8-9 years ago. He said, and Larry Teacho, my certified financial planner, both Tony and Larry are, and Larry said, you got to take some white noise. Not white noise, white space. Said, Motormouth, you have to make sure you put some white space on your calendar so you don't get burned out. So this morning, I'm going to talk about vehicle ownership with less stress. Is that possible? Is it? Well, you're going to find out. You really, really are. But first and foremost, I'm having coffee with you this morning. So if you're just scooting through the drive-thru, I've been up for a while. So, yeah, I think I'm afraid of the dark. If you're just scooting through the drive-thru, double check your order, lock it down in the cup holder, get out in the roadway. If you're driving to or from work this morning, please be safe out there. Keep an eye out for the deer. They are on the move. They are. There's a lot of Bambis out there, and there's going to be lots of young ones too right now. So very, very soon, we're going to see a lot of deer get a little bit scrambled at this time of year because it's birth time. And so they just pop out of nowhere even during the day. And we found that here on the south shores of Lake Erie. I just missed one the other week, and I don't drive fast in specific areas, and I don't drive fast anyway. But all of a sudden, bam, there she was. And then another one came after. That was the male, had a nice rack on it, that's for sure. Yeah, could probably get AM, FM, and HD1, HD2 on that deer. So be careful out there. They are on the move, and this is the time of the morning when they start moving around. So let's have our morning coffee together. Here's how we do it. Again, if you're joining us for the first time, we love our first-time visitors. Stay with us. You will learn a lot of knowledge about vehicle ownership, and it does not need to be stressful. It does not need to be stressful. And we're going to take some bites out of that this morning. So we count down our coffee and have a swiggy together, and we want to thank our certified financial planning professionals, Tony Miele and Larry Tetreault, 50 years experience as fiduciaries with IG Wealth Management, managing portfolios, debt, estate planning, mortgages, powers of attorney, health proxies, all that stuff, and life insurance and critical illness insurance. And you have the opportunity to get an hour and a coffee discovery meeting wherever you're comfortable, by phone, by Zoom, in the boardroom, in a coffee shop, in a box with a fox. Oh, that's something else. Sorry about that. No, not in a box with a fox, or in your home. But the thing is this. I've known Tony and Larry for 20 plus years. They've been my financial planners for the same. And they have helped me through some very, very difficult times. So if they can do it for me, they can do it for you. So don't be overwhelmed by your situation. If you have a portfolio with the bank, you've really got to get it out of there. You're not making any money. They're making lots of money on you. You're the best customer. Two things about banks. They use your money to make them lots of money. Look at, it's public knowledge. Take a look at the profits they post, because the 2025 will be posted. You get to see how much they make. Number two, if we have loans, we're paying interest. We are their best customers, but not always treated like that. So sit down with Tony or Larry and get your questions answered. Don't take advice from someone financially is not standing where you want to be. If you're looking to replace your automobile, you need to start planning that now to make sure that you're prepared for that. And then when you buy it, do you have a budget set up for maintaining it? It's not just you can make the payment. You've got to now take care of it. So connect with them. Take advantage of that hour and a coffee. Both Tony and Larry, they've been around a long time. They don't need any more clients. But they reached out to me, and we sat and we talked about bringing them on board in July of 2007 to help you through those areas that can quite often give you a lot of stress and a lot of lost sleep. So I'm ready with my cup of coffee this morning. Yes, I'm having coffee with you. Let's count it down and say thank you to our CFPs, Tony Miele and Larry Tetreault, for providing it for us. 3, 2, 1. That is just weird. That's all I got to say. That is weird for me. But I've been up early, and I've had my my herbal elixir already. That's all done. Yeah, that is so cool. Having coffee while I'm on the broadcast. Okay, secondly, what do we need? We need to know what's going on weather-wise, because I'll tell you, it's crazy. And the robins, they are fighting. They are fighting right now. It's robin wars around here. The birds have all arrived yesterday. Saw some red-winged blackbirds. We've got the blue jays back and the red jays. Those are the red cardinals. They're all here, and they are fussing and fighting for some geography. Let me tell you, it's hilarious. It really, really is. So let's say thank you to Earl and Louise Grant. Fantastic car couple. They love cars, and they love taking care of you. 20 plus years with City Auto Sales and Leasing. low mileage, quality vehicles at fair prices. They sell no junk. The reason they're with us, when you see the quality of the vehicles they provide, I don't even know where Earl and Louise find them, but they have 20 years of resources. So if you don't see the vehicle you're looking for, let Earl and Louise get on it. Let them save you 1,000 steps because they will not bring any junk into their lot. So that's why they've earned the title of Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store. Buy with confidence, be treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity. Well, what do we got today? Our weather report brought to us by City Auto Sales and Leasing. 49 degrees right now. I've been outside. I had to put the, Wednesday is curb day. That means the junk's got to go to the COIB. So I've been to the COIB. I've relit the fireplace. Things are all running. It takes about an hour to get the homestead up and running. A Wednesday, a little more because our garbage dudes, they can come at any time. They really can. They really don't have a perimeter. When you think, when you're running late, you're going to miss the curb. When you're up early, they come late. You just can't figure it out. So 49 degrees right now, and it's actually very comfortable outside. Wind is making it feel cooler, about 46 degrees, rainy conditions from 6 a.m. till 7 a.m. with a thunderstorm, a thunder boomer coming in expected around 7. Today's temperature range will be from 35 to 60 degrees. 60 degrees. Man, break out the sawdust and the barrel of root beer and let's hold a square dance. It may feel a little more like 23 to 49, but right now I've been outside, it's good. And rain, possible 1.55 inches of rain in the next 24 hours. So take your umbrella with you and keep an eye out for those deep puddles because not a good idea to go splashing through there because your starter motor alternator is hanging down low. I call that the low-hanging fruit, and that is not good to wash it out. So for all of you, you see the big poodles out there, change lanes. Slow down. You don't want that water pressure getting in under the hood and soaking out your alternator, your starter. If you have a timing belt, that water under pressure will push right into the timing cover. And if we get an overnight low, there can be ice crystals on your timing belt when you go to start it up tomorrow morning. The teeth break off, and it just turns into a really, really nasty day. So we want you to avoid that. Avoid the big puddles all the time. You're not a Hummer or something like that's been put together to drive through the water. These vehicles are not made, I don't care what you're driving, they are not made to go flying through those deep puddles. Just a warning, because that's going to cost you. And when I talk about the 5 things, what it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks, is when you go flying through those puddles. You're not a child, and the car is not a submarine. I'm just saying. Stay out of those deep puddles. Avoid them at all costs. You see one coming, your mind should say, I need to slow down and scoot through there very gently or get out of the lane. Slow down enough to get out of that lane, because here in our town, I know where they are, and they're about 6 to 8 inches deep. That is a recipe to go cha-ching under the hood. So I give you that warning. I've warned you, you furry varmints. Exactly. So remember, send your questions in. It's already hump day. It's middle of the week. We've made it to the halfway point. Yippee! Exactly. And Saturday morning's Q&A. I'll take those questions. I'll answer them for the whole hour that I'm on the microphone for you. Let's dive into how many of you out there, and don't be afraid to send me an email. There's no fear. Fear knocks, faith answers, nobody's there. You know what it really stands for? False evidence appearing real. Don't let fear hold you back. And I know we have a lot of that going on. Let me tell you, the talking heads, egads, man. I just, quite often, I just can't listen to that stuff anymore. I don't know about you, but I just want to live a peaceful, humble life, keep it all together, try and keep all my ducks in a row. And you know what? Take your lies and your word salad and everything and just leave. That's the way I feel. Would you just leave? And if you don't like it here, just get a ticket, find out where you want to be, and just leave. And leave the rest of us alone that want to focus on life, focus on doing life, doing it well, being kind to others, being patient with others. That's where it all starts to come together. An automobile is the same way. You've got to create that peace of mind that you can't put a price tag on. You've got to create that peace of mind between you and your automobile. I'm not going to be saying, namaste, or you got to become zen with your automobile. No. The more you know, the more you understand the basics, which are simple, not difficult. It's the talking heads, the white noise that will knock you off course. You've got to stay on course with your automobile. I get it all the time, believe it or not. 44 years as a service tech. I've worked on just about everything and anything. People will place negativity in your head. Oh, why do you want to keep that old automobile? I remember one time, there's a story. I was still driving to the radio station in Buffalo, the FM station we were broadcasting on for 24 and a half years. And I had put this 1992 Volkswagen Jetta together. It was a two-door. It was a Carmen. It was from Germany, built in Germany, and then brought to all the Volkswagen stuff comes through the U.S. into Canada. And I was working for Volkswagen at the time, and I got this car through the used car department, was traded in, and Penny was the gal that used to own it. She bought it brand spanking new in 1992, right out of the showroom of the dealership where my post was. And it just needed a little tender loving care, and I brought that thing back to life. And a young chap I learned of painted it for me. And I'll tell you what, you want a testimonial? I have had a lot of cars, and I bought and sold a lot of cars and helped families get cheap rides for their kids, going to school, going to college, university. And I used to look around who could paint them up for me if they needed painted. So anyways, I got sent to this young fella with this 92 Jetta, two-door, and it had the crank open sunroof. It was a nice little car. You'd never kill it. And he painted it for me with one arm. He only had one arm. And I got to tell you, that young chap, he loved what he was doing. He was working out an old carriage house up in Cambridge. And I dropped off the car. I had it all taken apart for him, so he didn't have to take anything off. That was the best darn paint job I have ever seen in my life. And he painted it in that little carriage house. It was out of this world. The paint job was amazing. So anyways, I got this car. I say all that because I spent time on it. I put this car together, and it looked stunning. Put some European Volkswagen wheels on it. It looked absolutely stunning. 5-gear with air conditioning. So I pull into the car lot at the radio station, and the general manager's pulling in. That's been there at the station since 1963. And he pulls in a Beamer. And he looks at my car and he goes, "That's quite the jalopy you got there." You know what I'm saying? Do you react or respond? I couldn't say anything. I just left it at that. And I just smiled and nodded. And I'm like going, dude, this car is everything to me. I put it together. I bought it for $200. from the used car department. They let me have it for $200, and I bought a parts car for another $200, and I sold pretty much everything off of that car and made a profit. Sold the motor, the transmission, shock, struts. They were all brand new. It was a trade-in, and Bill says, you might as well take this other one. He was a sales mangler. Take them both. He goes, then you know what, you got everything you need. No matter what, you can make one out of the two. So that's what I did, and then I ended up buying another one, and I was going to part it out, and then I sold it to somebody, and they still have it. That was back in 2005. They still have it. A four-door A2 body style Jetta sunroof, crank open sunroof, and that was a Carmen right from Germany, built in Germany, and they still have it. Isn't that crazy? So you've got to get in tune with your automobile, and that is, just like I told you already, my professor's saying your mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. If you're open to listening and doing, remember, the do does and the did is done. Things don't get done by themselves. And here's what all of us as Canadians should have recognized already. When we let the cat rule the house, the mice get dumber. The mice have to get smarter, then the cat gets afraid. Because you know too much. Yeah, you know how the cat works, and you can work around it and beat him at his own game. Owning and operating an automobile is a game. That's what I've discovered for 44 years. You got marketing. You've got the talking heads. You got the white noise, commercial after commercial after commercial. I'll be honest with you. I would not want to own a 2026 today. I'm being open and honest with you. You know what? What I see, the quality and everything, it ain't there. They're making these things so stinking cheap. You know, somebody opens a car door and puts a great big dent in the fender, just like that. Like, the sheet metal is so thin, folks, it only has one side. You can literally hoof the door right in with your sneaker on. And the plastic, you notice? Plastic, more plastic. We're seeing it under the hoods of the engine, covering the engines. This is now plastic. That's now plastic. The heat of the engine is warping it. It's, and that's what happens. Plastic degrades with heat and UV rays. We can't escape any of it. The underhood temperatures now are 3 times what they used to be. When I'm working on Mr. Green Jeans, I can get right in and sit on the fender well inside with the motor. There's lots of airflow, so the engine can breathe, and heat is the enemy. And now we've got intake manifolds, valve covers, major components on engines that are taking heat every single day, and it degrades. It starts falling apart. Plastic, it just turns into, I call them cornflakes. The plastic turns into cornflakes. You touch it and it breaks. And then you got to buy it. So I just say that as a sidebar. I don't see the price tag matching the quality of the goods. And I remember seeing that sign in a very old general store. It said, prices charged match the quality of the goods sold here. So in other words, the sign was telling you, and the owner of the general store was telling you, we're not selling you any garbage. The price we're asking is for quality goods. But today, in the automotive world, again, this week, I go to move out. We filmed the last segment on the 97 Jeep TJ Wrangler leaving the shop, backing out under its own power for the very first time, and I didn't even make it out the door. What happened? Well, I just posted the video. It should be up this week. A little plastic bushing that I had to order online that holds the clutch rod to the clutch pedal popped off. I put a brand new one on there. And when I'm putting it on, I'm looking at it, and I shot a video on it. You can see that. That's in the last couple of weeks. The clutch pedal bushing. I came up with a real fix myself, and then I shared it, but I didn't put it on. I thought I'll just leave the new piece I put on there, and if I have trouble with it, I will change it over to a real bushing and a spacer and a clip that will go right on the rod on the clutch, and that clutch pedal push rod will not fall off. So I didn't even make it out the door. Clutch pedal went to the floor. The clutch push rod fell off the clip. That is a factory clip. It didn't hold it. So I had to go back under there. The Jeep's running. I go back under the dash, and I look at it, and I go, well, isn't that a pip? What if that happened out on the road? And then I couldn't get it to go back on there because the clip broke. So it's going to get the upgrade that I created. I created a little kit, and I actually put it together, and it's in what I call the you know how you have a first aid kit? Well, if you own a Jeep, you need to have a Jeep first aid kit. Put a few things in there that can help you if something goes on. So I'm going to switch that up. So getting more involved with your vehicle requires a couple of things. And then, you know what? The stress level is going to come off. If you stop thinking about how old your vehicle is and you're putting money into it, and you shouldn't, who says you shouldn't be putting money into it? Who says that? Who told you that? First of all, as I've been talking about lately, as long as the structural integrity of the vehicle has not been compromised by rust and the engine's sounding good, transmission's working good, you have the platform to work with. And when you've restored the number of vehicles that I have, I've gone to look at vehicles that somebody said, will you come and take a look at it? I'd like it to go to a good home, and I know you'll take care of it. I don't want it to go to somebody and it's just ends up in a junkyard. So you go out there and you look at it and you go like, this thing is rougher than a stucco toilet seat. To bring it back to life, the foundation of the project is done. It's been sitting way too long. So you have to call it. You have to say, you know what, this is going to be beyond what I want to do. And at the end of the day, what's it worth? Nothing, because you didn't have a solid foundation. It's a parts car. So that's when, if you want to build that particular vehicle, you go looking for one that, may be rougher than a stucco bathtub from the wheels up on the outside, but you've got good components on the other one, but the foundation is no good. So whether you have an older vehicle or not, as long as the foundation is good, as I said, the frame, the engine, the transmission, the rest is all workable. You don't need to go into debt. You don't need to be paying these large monthly payments and working your butts off to pay for a car and be car broke. You don't have to. That's the white noise. Those are the talking heads. Oh, it's getting old. You shouldn't put any more money into it. It's not even worth what the invoice is. If I had 2 cents for every time I heard that, even in my own shop, and I'd say, you know what, if you don't want it, I'll take it. They go, really? Yep. What do you want for it? Oh, just give me $500. Done. They go make car payments. I turn that into a car in about a week. And then it's good for a son or a daughter or a second car in the driveway. A cheap ride. But it doesn't mean it's maintenance free. You've got to fall in love with the idea of taking care of it. I like to say that a vehicle is closer to having another pet in your household. You got to water it. You got to take it for a walk. You got to feed it. You got to brush it. You got to maintain it. You got to check it over, make sure it's healthy all the time. If not, you got to, something's going on. You got to get it to the vet and get it inspected. You see the similarities? When you treat your vehicle like it's a pet and that it's really important, the stress level drops off. Stop listening to those people that are telling you it's old. You know what I hear now when I take some of the vehicles out that I go out in? I got to go to the accountants this morning, so I'm going to take the '08 Rogue that was donated to us. Thank you, Sandra, for doing that. And we brought it back to life. I'm going to take it for a scoot. Am I afraid to take it? I've already had a couple people go, what year of Rogue is that? I go, it's an 8. You got to be kidding me. I go, no, it's an 8. Well, how much mileage has it got? I think it's got 120. Well, that's really low. I said, yeah, it needed a lot of help to get here. I said, but now when you take care of it, you've got something older, but you know what? It's still an automobile. Back in the horse and buggy days, think about it. Cost a fortune to get a carriage and a decent horse. Do you think they didn't take care of that? Oh, the horse is getting older, you should just put it down and get a new one. This is society. This is where your stress level will come way down when you start maintaining it. If you, just imagine this. How long, I'm going to leave you with this today because we're running out of time. I could go on for a while because I know a lot of you are stressed out. You're stressed out with your jobs. Some of you are commuting, an hour, 90 minutes to get there. And you say, well, I need a newer car that's reliable. They're not reliable. They get to a point where, it's this thing, that thing, the other thing. It's always constantly something because they're building them cheap. Unless you step up and you get into like a Honda or a Toyota that the fit and finish is there, the quality's there, they use the best electronics, not the cheapest builder, you get your money's worth out of it. You will, but you've got to step up to the plate to get that. In this day and age, you know what? I'm not even going to apologize for it when the domestic car companies can actually make something that gets me excited. I'm not interested in their junk. Price tag and I see the fit, the finish, the quality. You can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. And you can put plastic and plastic trim and a little bit of chrome plastic trim and try and make it look better and a little plastic wood grain. No. Absolutely not. Plastic is cheap. That's why they're using it. Plastic is light so they can meet CAFE. CAFE is simply, in simple terms, they have to make fuel mileage. They have to hit the standard for fuel mileage. It's called CAFE. So how long would your car last if you actually followed a proper maintenance plan? And how much stress would be removed from you because you know what needs to be done next by looking at your maintenance plan? And it removes a ton of stress. And number 2, if the vehicle's got a solid foundation, so it's not rusted out, we're going to get it on a maintenance plan to keep the rusties at bay. So that means every 18 months minimum rust-proofing application. That's like pennies a day to pay for it. If you gave up one drive-through coffee a week and put that money in a jar, you'd have more than enough at the 18-month mark to get it sprayed again. It is not a one-time deal. I don't care who says that out there. That's an absolute lie. The first thing you've got to do is make sure the foundation is solid and you keep it solid. It's not one application and done. It's not one and done. It is an annual sport. It is. And this time of year, as we pop up over 50 degrees and stay there, that's when you want to get the application done. Don't wait till the fall. You get it done and allow that product to move and creep all summer long in the heat. So imagine, how long would your car last if you actually followed a proper maintenance plan? Well, we've revitalized our car, what we called for many years, about 10, 12 years ago. Those things flew out over the radio networks every single week. People were picking them up and working with their maintenance schedule. We've revamped it and brought it back, given it a whole new program, and we've built a laminated, reusable fleet maintenance system that makes it simple. That's going to reduce your stress. Number 1, You'll know why it's going into the shop. Number two, you're not waiting till lights, bells, whistles, rattles, thunks, clunks, and something fell off, honey, and I don't know what it was, but I saw it, and it came from our car. Not waiting for reactive maintenance. That doesn't work. You got to have maintenance prepared. That's how fleet companies don't have downtime, because that's expensive. And I hear the thunder, so that's true. We got to give them a check mark on that. The thunder is coming. Send me an email. We're putting together a web page. I'll be on our webmaster today to see how fast we can get this done. Send me an email today. And in that email, put the words in capital fleet, and I'll send you the rest of the details. For the cost of less than an oil change, you can have a complete fleet maintenance system right from me personally that will keep you going. Keep that car going as long as you want to keep it. How exciting is that? Getting out of car payments, reducing your overhead in your home. And we are going to run the 30-day fuel savings challenge as we get closer to ambient outside temperatures staying over 50 degrees. I can help you just with that save $100 a month in fuel savings. Are you hearing me? I'm in your corner. I'm not here to sell you anything. That fleet maintenance schedule is invaluable in my opinion. It really is. And for less than the cost of an oil change, you can get started and take action. That's the thing. You've got to take action. Talking about it all the time, here's a perfect example of reactive vehicle maintenance. When you bring it in, it comes in on a flatbed, and we get looking at it and go, wow, it's just this $50 part here. Caused all this damage. Cause and effect. And I can't tell you the number of times I've had this conversation and said, had you have brought it in sooner, we could have saved you a lot of money. But now, because this was going faulty and defunct, and you let it go and let it go and let it go and let it go, now we're here. So you end up costing yourself money. Cars don't self-heal. They need, just like a pet, they need all the attention it can get, and it doesn't need to be stressful when you have a list of everything that needs to be done on a regular basis to keep that thing going as long as you want it to. That is money in the bank, folks, and that is not stress. When you know what needs to be done, and yeah, occasionally a sneaky thing will come up, just like in the FJ. I know I've got an oil seal that I can smell at the right rear. So I'm not going to wait till I see oil, differential oil, running down the inside of the wheel all over the rear brakes. That's what I'm talking about. You go, well, it's just starting. I'll just let that go for a while. The $50 part turns into $5,000 repair bills. And you can avoid that stress by being in tune with your vehicle. Taking control of your vehicle maintenance is going to relieve a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, a lot of unknowns, and what's going to happen next, and how much is that going to cost? And the service light came on, honey, today on the way to work. I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm afraid. Am I getting close to the conversations? Pretty much. Oh, I smell something's not right. I smell something burning when I'm driving the car. And you go, oh, it's okay. The fellow's like, oh, it's probably all right. You probably went through a puddle or something and it's burnt. No, we need to check it and just verify it, because the $50 part can quickly turn into a $5,000 repair bill. Is that stress? Absolutely. I almost thinking if I got a $5,000 repair bill on the car, I'd get a wedgie. Seriously. A serious wedgie. And I would be puckering. You better believe it. That's a lot of money, folks, that we don't need to go down that road. We just don't. So I'm here to help you. Questions? motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. Niall at ccbusnet.com. All that information is in the descriptions. And I just want to finish with this. Read the descriptions. Get signed up for our YouTube channel. Learn as much as you can, because then the stress level continues to drop, because then you understand your automobile a lot more. And when you understand, when you have more information and the unknowns become known, the stress level drops way down. Same with when I talk about finances with our CFPs. Get an hour and a coffee with them and unload. The stress level comes way down. Why? Because the unknowns, when they become known, the stress level comes off. It comes off very quickly. Like, oh, now I really know what's going on. I'm not constantly thinking and grinding it and turning shrubs into trees, wondering what's going to happen. What's next? What now? I don't know. Everything becomes an IDK. I don't know. That's where you got to get answers. And when you have those answers, you become in the know. And when you're in the know, you can live a peaceful, humble life. But you've got to be willing to get in the know. What does that mean? It means no one else can do it for you but you. You have to make the decision. And I don't listen to any negative trolls, people saying, well, Jenkins, that's getting old. You should probably get rid of it. And you know what I do? I smile and I nod. And I let them go ahead and make car payments. That's not my shtick. Live a peaceful, humble life. Don't be afraid of what you don't know. Because when you get yourself sold and that mindset changes to get in the know, the stress comes off instantly. Owning and operating an automobile does not need to be stressful. You just need to conquer the unknown and become in the know. Makes a difference. That's what our Car Connection fleet maintenance system will do for you. And I have special pricing coming up for those who subscribe to our YouTube channel. Pricing is going to be like $10 less. So we're looking at $69 for the kit without a subscription, $59 if you're subscribed. So that's what we're putting together right now. As I said, that's not even coffee for 1 week. Trips to Timmy's for one person that I particularly know. Yeah, their Timmy's bill is like over $240 a month. Yeah, that's crazy. Thank you to Niagara Block for making today's program possible. Located at 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls. Building Canada since 1931. These people are awesome to work with. Great customer service. Building materials, hardscape, landscaping materials. They're well connected with the contractors that can estimate, start the job, finish the job, and you will be very happy and pleased with their workmanship and the materials they can provide to you to create that outdoor living space, that oasis, if you will, for yourself and for your peace of mind and to de-stress when you're not working. Let them help you put that all together at Niagara Block at 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls. Say hi to Dave and Kathy Grimo. They'll be more than happy to help you find everything you need to create that stress-less area in your backyard, that outdoor, beautiful, gorgeous living space. And thank you to all the ladies and men that are working hard at Crystal Ridge Dream Center, serving men, women, widows, orphans, seniors, young adults, children, feeding them meals, love, hope, and changing lives one at a time in the Niagara region. Check them out online. See how you can get involved and help them do what most of us don't have time to do or the knowledge to do. Maybe you can volunteer there. Maybe you can be a monthly donor or send some gift cards, but they get no outside funding. So in times when community support is so crucial, Crystal Ridge Dream Center shines as a beacon of compassion Transformation, and they're located at 385 Derby Road, right in the heart of Crystal Beach. And if any of you that are out there that are struggling with an addiction, just remember you can't fight what you can't see. Total Freedom Addiction campuses are there for Canadians and U.S. residents as well, dealing with destructive behaviors. They're an alternative addictions program that brings Christ-centered healing and restoration to individuals and families enslaved by cycles of addiction and destructive behaviors. They have been changing lives for well over 20 plus years, and they're good at it. But when you're ready to deal with that addiction, there's a new life waiting for you there at Total Freedom Addiction Campuses, Canada and USA. Drive safe, make it a wonderful day, stay out of those deep puddles, and really think about what we talked about this morning. If you want to own and operate an older automobile with a lot less stress, not having to make payments and interest, and want to keep that vehicle going as long as you can to put money back in your pocket and reduce your overhead, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. You got questions? I'll answer your questions directly. If you need a consultation, send me an email. I'll talk to you over the phone. Whatever it takes to help you get through, over, past, under, around the fear of owning an older automobile does not need to be there. It does not. So make it a super day. Happy, healthy motoring. Keep it under 100. Watch out for the other guy. Peace, patience, and kindness always. We'll see you tomorrow morning for another edition of Motor Mouth's 8 a.m. Morning Drive. Bye for now.